Hey everyone, well, winter is well and truly with us. I'm having a hot cup of tea in the caravan while I do the periodic airing whenever the sun is out and it's nice and dry out there. The roof has to go up, otherwise we get condensation everywhere. And you know what condensation means? Mold. Anyway, those are other videos on the channel. You don't need to see that in this movie. No, it's not that good. A video. Anyway, there's been a lot of chat on Twitter, particularly about cold weather and leisure batteries, and you know, it's the season for people's batteries breaking down and not working like they thought they were working, certainly all the weaknesses to show up. And so it's that time where, you know, I'm going to apply some science to this problem, right? So what I want to do is get a leisure battery and charge it and use it at two different temperatures. So outdoor temperature, whatever we've got here now, so ambient, normal, outdoor, winter temperature for the UK, and room temperature, and let's see if it makes any difference. Now, I cannot move the entire caravan into the house to get it up to room temperature, and it's a bit of a pain, you know, trying to use stuff and measure stuff off of just a plain battery on its own. So I had a bit of a brainwave, hence this video. So I'm going to use this thing, which is my new super cool, not a Jackery power pack. This is a lithium ion battery, so it might react slightly differently to an AGM lead acid or something like that. But the pattern of how it reacts will be exactly the same, even if the numbers and the percentages are slightly different. Alright, so we're going to do three different scenarios. The first scenario is we are going to charge it in the cold and use it in the cold. And I've got a little 250 watt desk heater, which I haven't brought with me. That's very professional, isn't it? I'll put a little picture in here. So I've got a little 250 watt desk heater, which can run perfectly well off of this power pack. So we will run that and we'll see how long it runs each time from charging in the cold, using in the cold. Then we will charge in the warm, use in the warm. And then we'll do the intermediate scenario, which is charging in the warm, using in the cold. There is, of course, the vice versa of that, which is charging in the cold, using in the warm, but that's pointless because that's not a real life scenario. You know, this is the leisure battery pack, if you like, that lives in the van, the T6 VW, and there's no way it's going to get charged in the cold of the van and then used in the warm of the house. That's a waste of time. So we're not doing that one. For those of you without the benefit of a PhD in electrochemistry, the theory is that in cold weather, once the battery is charged, it should be able to hold that charge much better. So if we charge it up to 100%, you know, we should be able to leave it in the cold for a lot longer than we could if it was warm and it not lose any of that charge. Why is that? That's because all the chemicals in there, the atoms and the molecules and so on, in cold weather, they're moving less. So, you know, basic science is everything's made of atoms, which annoys me when people say, oh no, it's got chemicals in. Everything is made of chemicals. You are made of chemicals. I'm made of chemicals. Let's not say chemicals are bad. Some of them are bad, obviously, in particular circumstances. You know, bleach is bad if you breathe it in, but it's very good if you want to clean something. So anyway, that's my soapbox. So what we're going to do is, so anyway, what was I saying? So, little chemistry rant over. So in cold weather, you charge the thing up because the atoms and the molecules are wiggling less when it's cold, then they're less likely to lose charge over time, which is why a charged battery is much more stable stored cold. But because they're able to wiggle less, then you can actually get less charge out of the battery as you're using it, which is why your battery starts to appear as if it's failing in cold weather, because if it's not holding its charge very well anymore because it's old, then the chances of getting what charge is left in the battery out of the battery are much slimmer when it's colder. When it's hot, you know, the molecules and atoms are wiggling, vibrating much faster. This happens all the time, by the way, you know. It's happening in your body all around you right now. All your little atoms and molecules and so on are wiggling. Don't be scared. So when it's warm, they wiggle a lot more, so it's much easier to get the charge out of a battery. That's the theory. So what we're expecting to see is when we're using it warm, we should get much more charge out of it than when we're using it cold, which means the heater should run for longer before this battery pack shuts itself down on its sort of safety cutout at about 3 or 4%. What I don't know is, and this will be the fun bit, at the difference between outdoor ambient, which is about 3 or 4 degrees at the moment, versus indoor ambient, which in our house is not that hot, so it's about, I don't know, 18, 19 degrees, whether that actually makes enough of a difference to show up in a scenario where we charge warm and use cold. Let's see, that will tell us whether the charging temperature makes much difference at all between those two parameters. So let's see. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. Let's get to the experiments and see what happens. All right, so here we go with experiment number 1. We are currently in the cold but rather posh shed, well, second lounge room thing at the end of the garden, and it's chilly out here, as you can see. And this is the experimental setup. So yesterday I charged in this same room, same setup, the power block fully up to 100%, so it's charging at the same sort of temperature. Charged it up to fully 100%, left it overnight, and now we are going to just plug the heater in, which is 250 watts, remember, and then we're just going to run it while the iPad keeps time. I've got the iPad plugged into the mains, so that's completely separate from the power pack, and we'll just see how long the heater runs for until the power pack shuts itself down automatically. Okay, GoPro is adjusted, so you can see those things. That is there, that is there. Let's put you on a little tripod on the table here, and then I can get everything started. Right, we're ready. 100%, ready, set, go. All right, that's all running. Wow, that's shooting down quickly. Look, so can you see how that's peaking? So that peaks, it was up to 450 watts a minute ago, so now it's steadily coming down to its steady state of 250 as the heating element kicks in. Wow, yes, that's warm. Set on maximum again so it won't go off. All right, and we're down to 87% already, so that's interesting to see how much it shoots down, but hardly surprising given the science. As the thing starts up, let's see how long it lasts, although the heater is only pulling 233 watts. Interesting. All right, well, start the 55 seconds late, sorry about that. That's the GoPro started, so we'll leave that clicking away to get the final time. And you and I will meet back up at the end of this. So there's our experiments. Was that interesting? Was that helpful? Anyway, you can see very clearly what happens with the battery pack due to temperature, and I hope that's an interesting piece of information. There's not a lot we can do about it because we can't control the weather, but at least it gives us a bit of knowledge so we understand what's going on with our leisure batteries in the winter. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, all that sort of good stuff. Remember to press the ding dong thing if you haven't already. Thanks for your support. Leave me a comment if you thought it was interesting, and I'll catch you in the next one. So bye for now. See ya.